Hi, everybody. How are you this morning or this afternoon? It's already afternoon. Oh my gosh. We're doing our middle of the month live right now, and I'm excited to share some things with you. First of all, I know you can see my crown because it's lighted. Isn't that pretty? So, this is one of the things that I do to keep myself from going into the spiral of shame. One day I put on a sequin crown I have because it's a hairband and I was vacuuming. And every time I passed a mirror in my house, I'd go, oh, because I would see myself with this crown on. And so I kind of started buying crowns a little bit. This is a cute one because it's got lights on it. I like it. And it just makes me feel good when I see that and I see it's like a little party. No, I'm not going to a rave. We are having a jam tonight over at the Legion nearby. But it's good to do things that when you look at yourself, it makes you go, oh, yes, there I am. And I'm a queen. I have my crown on. It makes you feel good to see yourself enjoying your life and having fun. So when you're looking at those pictures that you take, and we all take too many pictures now, don't we? Of times when you've been with people that you love, that you have a good time with, that you're sharing fun with. Those are good things for you to hold in your memory and hold in your mind for a little while and bring that feeling up. Now, I'm not asking you to avoid feeling feelings, but you don't want to go into that spiral of shame if there's nobody there to help you out. The reason why I do one-on-one individual healing with people is because it's important to have somebody standing by holding space for you to do the healing and also help bring you out of those situations where we build that stressful, that uncomfortable feeling up, and then we want to burst that bubble. We've been doing that a lot this week with clients and myself too, to help really sit with those feelings, because as you sit with them, it's not necessarily that you're going to dump more on yourself, but as you really get into it and sit with it, you're going to feel this kind of shift happen. It's like I say, it's like the bubble bursting. You build up this feeling so much that you can't hold it. You can't hold it, and then it releases. So I'll give you an example. I was working with one of my therapist friends this week, and we built up this feeling of rejection that I've had been working with over the last several years. And we built that up, and I went in to check with it and see what it was doing. And it was like this black tar, very sticky, very stuck. And it was all along my aorta, all the way down to the bifurcation that goes to the iliac artery. So it was there. And it was this black, slimy tar, very sticky. I wanted to put a solvent on it. What's the solvent you put on tar? We used to get tar on our feet on the beach because they were dumping out in the ocean where I lived, and we'd come back and we'd have tar on our feet. The only thing that would get it off is turpentine. So I was thinking, oh, I could put turpentine. No, that would kill me. I can't put turpentine on this. What am I going to do? So I went into that, and my therapist is saying, okay, go a little deeper with that. And I went deeper, and I tried to put some glitter on it. And it was like not going to have glitter on it. I was trying to make it prettier. And then I finally just sat with it. I sat with that negative feeling of rejection. And as I sat with it, it started to dissolve. It dissolved into a beautiful, sparkling, radiant light. And what it changed into was the light that I saw on the bottom of the sea floor when I was snorkeling, with the grass waving back and forth with the water and the light refracting onto the sand underneath the water. So mesmerizing, so beautiful. So you can change your feelings. It's good to have somebody there with you that helps you stay with it, because you saw, as I described this, I wanted to do this to it. I wanted to do that to it. And she's like, no, we're going to stay right there with it. And yes, there were a lot of tears. There was some nose blowing. There was a lot of release that happened. And it's good to have somebody that knows how to take care of that while you're in it, because you don't want to. Like, I can't do that for myself necessarily because I have to be in it, and then I can't direct myself. Now, you could do that, but it's very extremely difficult. And who's standing out by to help you get out of it? So you really can't divide yourself like that. So that's one of the things that we do to help you stay out of that spiral of shame, as my son called it one day. I said, what are you feeling? And he's like, well, I could go down into the spiral of shame, and here's all the things that suck in my life, but I'm not going to do that today. Now, it doesn't mean that you never do that, because if you keep avoiding and avoiding, and you keep what we call spiritually bypassing those things, they're still there and they're still working on you. So I'm not necessarily in agreement with, oh, just go to joy when you're feeling like crap. How hard is that to do? But you can think of times when you had joy as a child or as a teenager growing up. You can go back to those times when you had joy, or you can think of seeing other people have joy. You could think of a movie that you saw. I mean, think of the end of A Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life. You can think of those things, and that can bring you to joy. But you do have to experience some negativity in your life, because you're a human being, and we have negativity. And it's okay. It's just that we want to release it. We don't want to keep pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down. Because when we push it down, it comes out another way. Like, I don't know, thyroid problems. Like having an accident that you could have avoided easily if you'd been present. Things like that, where people say, oh, it's just an accident. There's no way I could have avoided it. But there's always red flags beforehand. You just have to be aware of the signs, and you have to be like present to what's happening. So, yeah, somebody's going to argue with me about that, I'm sure. Mint tea, a great way for you to avoid the spiral of shame. Giving yourself things that make you feel happy, like little lights on a crown, or putting decorations on your Christmas tree, or finding a plant in your house that could handle some decorating. All these things help you to be present and feel joy in your heart. I know that a lot of people have had losses this year of loved ones and people that they admired. There's been many people that have passed on that I've really admired in life. And the thing that happens is we can be thankful that we were here at the same time they were and experienced their gifts as they allowed them to be shared. And we can also be thankful that for the inspiration, because it's not often that we can see those things clearly, but you can allow yourself to enjoy it for the rest of your life. That's a cool thing about memory and enjoyment. And even if you're not that good with your memory, you can manufacture things that create joy in your life. I have a picture that I used for profile, and you'll see it again in the new offering that we're having next year. Get ready for that. That's going to be really fun. Of me as a mermaid, because you can do these AI pictures. And whenever I look at that picture, I think that is so cool. That's me. I can pick out where in my life I felt like this beautiful mermaid. I have had that in my mind, and now it's like a two-dimensional representation of what was in my mind. And that's a fun thing to do. I mean, why not just enjoy what's happening around you? There's always going to be things that we can complain about. There's always going to be challenges in our life. There's always going to feel like times when everything's piling on us and there's no escape and we're trapped. And I want to just tell you that when you're feeling that way, we have a way of getting you to feel untrapped, even though you have all the reasons why it's true. There's an infinite number of possibilities of how it's not. We live in an infinite universe. There's an infinite number of possibilities of how you're not trapped. You have to let those in. And that can be the really hard part, because your logical mind wants to be in control and wants to protect. There's part of you that wants to protect you, that we call it the shitty committee, that lives in the back of your mind. They're always telling you how you can't do that. Nobody will want that. You can't get anywhere with that idea. You're going to have to get outside of yourself to do that. And you can't do that. It's dangerous out there. You want to lead, then your head is up there above everybody else, and you're going to be an easy target. It happens all the time. It's easy to do that when you're going live. Well, nobody wants to hear from me, right? And that's how come I've been working on rejection. This has been going on since I was little. Don't want to be rejected, so better not shine. Better not stick your head up, because you'll get shot at. Well, that's not really true. And it is, because people will shoot at this. People will try to bring it down. And that's okay. They can do that. That's their business. But what I can tell you is that if you never do it, if you never try, if you never do the thing outside of your comfort zone, you won't be able to expand your comfort zone. You know, it's really true. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. It's just true. So if you take a shot and you fail, that's not really failing. That's you learning, because everything is happening for you, not to you. I'll say it again. Everything is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you so that you'll learn more about you and your connection with Source. So I can't really help people that are atheists, that don't believe that there is a higher power that connects us all. So if you're just agnostic, that's fine. But atheist is a little more difficult for me to work with you. So I would say, probably they're not going to see this anyway, I would say that even if you have the faith of a mustard seed, and believe me, they're tiny, 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 tiny mustard seeds, that you can actually manifest what you desire in your life. You can manifest it, but you got to have that little tiny, tiny seed of faith. Maybe this will work. The hardest thing for me to describe to someone a lot of the time is describing how faith feels. It's freaking scary. You have to let go of the thing that you know, even if it's the most uncomfortable thing in the world, but you know it. You have to let go of it so that you can reach for the thing that's what you really want. And what is calling to you, you have to let go. I let go many years ago when I moved to Iowa from the East Coast. I spent 30 years of my life on the East Coast. I had friends, I had family, I had life there. And I moved to a place I'd never been to. And I made friends. And I found a wonderful husband and children and so many things that were outside of my comfort zone. Even when I was in chiropractic school, chiropractic college, I was like, isn't this just us releasing love to people? Isn't that what this is? We're bringing them to life, and we're removing the interference so that their nervous system can communicate with them inside and out, and with other people inside and out. This is what love is. So really, it's the power of love that we're working with. And when we're doing energy healing, same thing. It's the power of love that we're working with. And it's so much, I would say it's so hard to describe it to somebody. And it's so scary to do that thing that you don't know how you're going to land and what's going to happen. And you have to rely on your own wits, and you have to have some faith in yourself to be able to recognize when assistance is coming and say yes to it. You have to recognize that part too. So you have to have a little faith in yourself and faith that God's putting you where you need to be. Years ago, I said, God, put me where I need to be for healing. And I was at the Mississippi Valley Blues Fest, 1994. The Blind Boys of Alabama were performing in the tent, and I had an amazing healing experience. And I said, boy, if I could do that. So let's see, 20 years later, I started our blues band, and we performed at the Mississippi Valley Blues Fest in the tent. And I told this story, and I sang Healing with the Blues. That's right, I'm healing with the blues. I've got nothing left to lose. That's why I'm healing with the blues. It's amazing what can happen. We ended up having dinner with the Blind Boys of Alabama. We just had dinner with them in September when they were here, opening for Robert Cray. It's just amazing full circle experience when you have things like that happen. And that's because I stepped outside my comfort zone. I said, you know what? I'm just going to sing if I feel like it. And I did, and people wanted more. So what else is there to do? I mean, are you here to make a mess? Yes. Are you here to paint outside the lines? Yes, you're here to paint outside the lines. You are here to experience everything that there is to offer here in this beautiful, screwed up world. You're here for that. I'm here for that. And I would love to help you move through this in a way that after you've pitched your tent in the valley of the shadow of death for a while and you're getting pretty tired of it, I'd love to help you go out the other end of that valley, skipping and whistling a happy tune or singing a blues song. And we're going to be doing something really cool next year. I want you to watch for it. I'm going to be putting out little hints during the rest of this year about what's coming up. But there's going to be something special that's happening for the first half of the year, and I want you to enjoy it with me. It's going to be kind of exclusive, so keep watching for that and see if it's something that you feel called to be part of. I'm excited for next year. This year has been a lot of introspection and taking care of me, and also handing that over to you as I can, as I feel safe to do so, right? Stepping outside that comfort zone. Oh, should I tell them about those? Yeah. So I've been dealing a lot with some diagnoses that I got earlier this year, and also looking at the alternatives for that, because medicine's great for keeping you alive, but not for thriving. So we want to thrive. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'll talk to you about it. But it's fascinating what shows up. I asked for a sign. I said, God, I really need a sign. I really need to have a sign that I'm on the right track. See, I'm asking for these things too. I'm not just sharing that because it doesn't work. It does. So the other day, I'm sitting in my tapping class that I have every Monday, and we're chatting on Zoom, and I look at myself, and there's a rainbow right here, right on my neck, right over my thyroid, which I've been dealing with this year. I have a rainbow right on it. So I said, look, everybody, I have a rainbow on my neck. And I thought, you know what? This is a great sign. I'm just going to take that in. Yeah, a rainbow right on my thyroid gland. Why not take it as a sign? Who's going to argue with me? Anybody? I don't think so. So I just wanted to share that with you and just let you know that the universe hears you. The universe supports you. And source is always there. It's in every cell, molecule, and atom, and all the space in between. You can't get away from it. You can feel separated from it. But know when you feel separated from it, that's you feeling that, choosing to feel that. And you can absolutely connect with it again. Just take a nice deep breath in. Take that deep breath in. And as you take it in, say, I invite spirit in. I invite spirit in. Inspiration. I am inviting spirit in. Do it one more time. Breathe in. Do it all day long. Hold it at the top. I'm inviting spirit in. And exhale. Let that energy come down through all the layers and levels. All those layers surrounding you. The beliefs that no longer work. The things that you've been taught that aren't really true, but you believed them. The things that you misunderstood that made it harder for you. Things that, and beliefs and thoughts that you've had that were not your own, that were handed to you by somebody else. And you went, oh, I wonder if that's true. Do you know, I'll give you an example. There were people that were saying, if you want to know what your self-worth is, look at your bank account. That's your self-worth. And I don't really think that's true. Because even if you don't have money, you're worth a lot. So money is not the measure of your self-worth. No, it's not. I asked a friend of mine who's a spiritual teacher, and I said, what do you think about that? He said, well, what do you think? I said, well, Jesus had everything he needed, but he didn't have, scads of money because he wasn't spending his money and showing off the money. And they all pooled their money. As we know, it was being taken care of by Judas, but before he kind of went south. But they weren't in lack. And they weren't ostentatious, and they weren't conspicuous consumption. They weren't doing those things. So I just want to remind you that outward symbols are not always the best indicator of your self-worth. And I will tell you what a good indicator is. A good indicator of your self-worth is you're here. You're here on earth right now. You are worthy of all good things. You are worthy of having everything that you want. You have to get into alignment with that thought. It's important for you too. And that's what we do in those one-on-one healing sessions. We start removing some of those heavy overcoats of beliefs that don't serve you, that keep you from your highest good. Like children should be seen and not heard. That might be in your subconscious, stuck in there, keeping you small. You don't need to be small, and you don't need to diminish yourself in any way, shape, or form to be worthy of all good things, love included, love especially. So if you're keeping yourself small because you don't think you deserve it, I'm here to tell you, wrong. You do deserve it. And when someone reaches out to give you assistance, take it. Take it. It's like if somebody hands you money, don't say no. Say thank you. Okay? Somebody gives you a compliment, don't brush it off. Oh, this old thing. Say thank you. Take it in. You know why people feel uncomfortable getting compliments? Because they don't want any attention on them. And the reason why they don't want any attention on them is because they've been told or taught or inherited the belief that attention is not good. For a lot of healers, it has to do with being killed for speaking up. When a tribe takes over another tribe, they kill the spiritual leader because then people don't know what to do. So I'm going to tell you, if you've been having that feeling that you're going to get hurt if you speak up, no, you won't. No, you won't. You can also feel that nobody cares what you say. Then you could go to the other extreme. It doesn't matter. So why not? Oh, believe me, there's a lot worse people out there saying worse things and helping to bring people down than there are people building up. There's way more people that want to build you up than tear you down too. You're not going to see that in the media. You're going to have to seek it out. You're going to have to decide. When people tell me they hate Facebook because it's so negative, I'm like, well, then you're negative, because you're only going to attract on there what you want to see. It's an echo chamber. What are you looking for? Seek and you'll find. What are you seeking? Knock and the door will be open. Are you knocking? Are you taking some action? Are you thinking enough of yourself? Are you thinking enough of yourself that you would give yourself a gift of assistance and clearing up the emotional mess that's going on underneath the surface that you've been hiding from everybody. You create a good facade. No doubt about that. You can see me today. I haven't dolled myself up for this because I don't think it matters. What matters to me is that you hear what these words are and the feeling behind it. The feeling is love. The words are, you're worthy. You're worthy of love. I hope that you have just the most wonderful holiday season. I'm going to tell you, my kids are far away. They live thousands of miles away from us. Our grandchildren are thousands of miles away. We won't be able to go see them. They're not going to be coming here. It's going to be another quiet holiday for us. And, I'm going to make the best of it. It's not really what I want, but I'm going to get into alignment with what I want. And I'm going to have the most wonderful Christmas season. It started already because my birthday was last week. So it started already. And we just slide right into 30th anniversary the day after Christmas. So we've got a lot to celebrate. And we will celebrate all of that. In fact, tonight we're celebrating too for our holiday toast and jam. I hope that you have a great time no matter what you do. Find the joy in it. Take a breath. Invite spirit in. That's what it's all about. Invite spirit in. And have a wonderful Merry, Merry Christmas. Christmas in the air. Merry, Merry Christmas. Christmas everywhere. Christmas in Chicago, New York too. Way down in New Orleans and right here with you. Merry, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. I'll see you again on the 19th. Much love. Bye.